at my beautiful tree and my beautiful pond and my beautiful backyard, which is making me very calm. So that helps a lot. But and I'm trying today in particular to be very calm, very relaxed. But one of the things I've worked very diligently on over the last week since our last class was the 2.2 second rule, as I call it. It worked a couple times for me, and I was able to catch myself and change my thought and be able to choose again.
Oh, I'm having problems hearing you. I don't know. Is anybody else having problems? Yeah, it sounds very.
Had that happen with my friend, and I blew it. And it was sad because, I mean, I hurt her feelings because I didn't catch myself.
Right. You seem to be out of sync.
Probably because I'm on my laptop.
Okay. Because it seems like you're
I'm on my laptop.
Okay.
I might have to go to my other thing. I'm on my laptop, so I was trying to. Okay.
Penny,
well, ask somebody. I'll go back into my bedroom, and you can ask somebody else, and I'll finish my question when I get back in my den.
Sure.
if you can get to a place where you have a better signal. You need a better signal.
I'm gonna go back to the den, and then I'll come back. Yeah. Okay. That's fine.
Okay. Elsa.
Hi.
Hi.
Sorry, I'm driving, but well, what I would do is just I meditate and I give thanks, God, for allowing me to see what's going on and to be able to redirect my thoughts, I would think. Okay. So I thank him again, and I ask for help to love, to send love to the world. I would think that's what I do. So okay. I don't know if that's good.
It's okay. There's no wrong action.
Because it's kind of like a prayer, I think. That's what I do.
It doesn't matter what it is we do, as long as the side effect is that we are not avoiding, that we are not abstaining from something, or that we are running away from things instead of facing what is happening chemically in your body.
No, I can avoid stuff. I have to do things and get it done. That's what I do.
Right.
Yeah. So, yeah.
There she is. Hi, Penny.
I'm back where I usually am.
Okay, you're back.
I got to turn off my computer. Anyway, I just wanted to say.
Okay, you have the other computer on, so you're having an echo.
I gotta try to turn it off here. I gotta shoot. I was trying to do something different today, just to change a pace, and that didn't work. So.
Okay. Well, now you're sounding great.
Okay. What I wanted to say about the 2.2 second rule that I tried to put in place this week, and it worked sometimes, and actually I did very well, because I took that. I realized 2.2 seconds. I have to, choose again. So I was able to do that in a couple cases, and then in another case, like I said, it was with my good friend who told me something, and I blew it. And I actually hurt her feelings because I didn't catch it. It wasn't even an anger. It was more of a shock. And I didn't catch myself at the time. So I had to kind of repair that relationship situation, just because I didn't let that 2.2 second rule take effect.
Right. Just so there will be a reminder on the on what we're talking about. Can you explain what the 2.2 second rule is?
Well, that's how long it takes for us to, I think of it, for us, for the anger to go through our body, and we kind of process it. And we have 2.2 seconds to really, that's how fast it is where anger takes over. And I know it I really know it does for me because it doesn't take very long to
It's
really
2.2 seconds, and it
Yeah,
goes through
goes through my body from the top of your head down through your body.
all through your chakras.
Right, all through your chakras, right, all through your chakras. And you can choose again. You can, those thoughts, those anger thoughts, you can basically block them by jumping in and choosing a different thought other than anger or another emotion.
Okay, no, first of all, I just want to remind everybody as we're going through each one of you. As you're feeling the anger, you're not stopping the anger. You want to let the anger through because it's trapped. It's a memory that is trapped, so you want to release it from the cellular memory.
Face
So
erase.
it's coming to the surface, and then it comes from 2.2 seconds from the time it hits your head, the crown chakra, all the way down. So in that time, you allow that anger to go ahead and start going through your body. Do not stop the feelings, do not stop the emotions or any of that. Feel the whole effect and then give it to the robot.
Yeah, I like the face.
Because you're releasing the whole thing. You're releasing it from cellular memory because at that point we are reactive. We're not conscious, we're not staying conscious, and we are reactive. So what we want to do is be active in our relationships. We want to be in the now in whatever we do in all the events. And in that nowness is when you, what I would like you to go from what you're doing, which is great. Because if you can catch it at 2.2 seconds, that's awesome, number one. But I want you to feel the emotion. Do not deny the emotion so it can leave your body.
Oh, I do feel the emotion. I don't have to worry about that.
And let it continue.
Yeah, I definitely feel it.
Thank you, Penny.
Sure.
Annabelle.
Hello, good afternoon.
Hi.
I came a little late, so I just wanted, could you repeat the question? I get the gist of what we're doing, but could you repeat the question?
With all the stuff that is going on in the world, like what happened in Vienna, like the hurricane, and in the different places, the global government, the dictators, the oppressors, and also in the United States, the elections with so much division. How are we dealing ourselves with? How are you dealing with you, not with them? What are you doing for you to get balanced and not to be involved?
So I have a lot of sorrow right now.
Okay.
I'm nervous about the election, very nervous. And what I'm doing is understanding what are the things I can control and how to do that.
Right.
And so yes, there's prayer, there's meditation, there's all the forms that we know how to take care of ourselves, gratitude, and pretty much saying, things that are out of my control, I can't do anything about. But I cycle a lot through some of the comments I see and hear, frustration, how much ignorance is out there. And and then with the hurricane, I'm just really trying to send lots of love and peace to those. Pretty much just really what is manifesting sort of like peace and love and minimizing what's happening right now.
Right. So basically prayer, meditation, and sending healing light. Is that it?
Yes, and then really stopping myself from going down a funnel of the things that I cannot control.
Right. Okay, thank you. Barbara Kramer.
Yes, ma'am. You're talking or asking? I'm sorry, I was on late. My phone would not work this morning. It was a real night.
That's okay.
But anyway.
I have somebody still trying to get in.
Yeah. However, we want to know how we're handling our emotions during a time of upheaval. Is that kind of it?
Yeah, I want to know how you get centered and remain centered.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't always get centered. Let me let me say that first.
When you try to do that.
Yeah, when I'm trying to get centered, that's a good one. I do the breathing exercises.
Okay.
Especially the breath of God. I really like that because I can do it fairly quickly.
Are you talking about the breath of God that we do with the chakras?
Yeah.
Okay.
And sometimes I just do the breath of God, but sometimes I do it all. But
that is awesome.
Yeah, and also right now I'm doing the lessons from A Course in Miracles.
Right.
Which have been helpful. I haven't done them in a long time, so I find my relationship to them now a little closer than it used to be, because to tell you the truth, I'm much more motivated.
Okay. Barbara, thank you. Virginia.
Yes, so I just want to let everybody know that Darlene is participating through her phone and my phone, and I have her phone positioned on my laptop so she can hear what we're saying. So Darlene is with us.
Do you think we can hear her?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So let me ask
Darlene. Okay.
Oh, hi. I can hear you. So, do you get the question, Darlene?
Did I get the voice turned up?
No, did you hear the question, what we're talking about?
Yes, what we're doing for ourselves.
To get centered. Yeah.
Yes.
And let go of them.
Am I answering it?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so basically what I do when I wake up in the morning is I do my reading, I do my meditation, and thanks for the reminder about the tapping. Sometimes I forget, and I need to go back to tapping, and that comes down. Yes, that's what I do. It's a stressful time, so I make sure that I do that when I get up in the morning.
Okay. When you say you do your reading, what kind of reading are we talking about?
So I do one reading from the Unity daily, or the daily reading from Unity. Then I do one from Melody Beatty, the language of letting go, or something like that. I've been reading for a time, and I also do a Buddhist one. So by then I've calmed down and I'm ready to sit and meditate.
Thank you. Thank you.
I have to remind myself, because I will, want to get up and rush out.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for letting me listen.
Yeah. Awesome. Virginia.
Thank you, Darlene.
Thank you, Virginia.
Meditating and breath work, the toning, all of that. But in that moment of upset, it's the observer. So I'm just noticing what I'm feeling. And what I want to do next is incorporate the release to the robot, because what I've noticed is I'll catch myself being either in fear or anger or sadness or whatever, and I'll observe that. And then I just let it be, and then it goes away, and then I go, okay, I'm fine.
Yeah, you're fine, but you still have the cellular, you kept the cellular.
Yeah, right, I didn't do that thing. So that's okay. So now that I'm observing more, my next step is to remember to give it to the robot. Yeah.
Okay.
Good point.
Okay, before I move on to the next part, does anybody have any questions?
I have a question. I would like to, what is the breath of God?
Hold on, and I will
go back to, you need to go back into the already recorded audios. Go to the one that says NEE and it's the chakras. Chakra alignment, I think it's September the 15th or the 23rd, somewhere in there, between the 15th and the 23rd.
23rd.
One of those. One is a review for all the new people, and the other one is the actual, and then Virginia sent a paperwork to everybody about the chakras,
An email.
An email with all the explanations from 1 to 12, the 12th chakra. We also included the earth chakra, which makes it a 13. But let me find that from you. If you don't understand, once you have all that information put together, you have to review it. And then you'll know what that is. It's a long process, so I can't go through it right now. That's why the review class was there. Okay? Yes, Virginia.
There was another breath of God. Remember you did a class where you gave us 3 breath techniques, and there was one of those called a breath of God?
No, the other one I didn't call it a breath of God because I didn't want a confusion.
What'd you call it?
The one that we need to do is the breath of God in the chakras.
Okay.
Okay.
Darlene has a question. Go ahead. Darlene has a question.
Okay.
So I just wanted to ask, so what's the point of actually giving it to the robot? Is that to get it out of you, or what's that point?
Okay, so let's say that you're having a reaction or a negative thought or a negative emotion, and you don't feel good and you don't want to cater to that emotion, because that is going to do is going to process into your body and create a cellular memory. The longer that you practice the same emotion, whether it's good or bad, it becomes a cellular memory. You don't want it there because then you will be reactive. You're no longer conscious. You start acting out of a reaction, which means you're totally unconscious. You're only reactive to everything that is happening, like you have no control over anything. And you really don't. You have control over you. And how do you get out of that emotion? That's the control that you want. You want to feel good. You want to feel safe. You want to feel secure. You want to feel happy. You want to feel in harmony. You want to feel in love. So if you want those feelings, it's up to you to have them. It's not out there, not something out there. You cannot blame what's going on out there for how you feel. That is producing guilt. That's a guilt producer, then you have to deal with that. And that's a byproduct of avoidance. So again, I'm going to suggest, Darlene, that you go back and go through the classes like I suggested to you over the phone. And specifically go to the classes from September the 15th, 14, 15, all the way to the end of September. So you can have a base on what we're talking about. They're very long classes and there's a lot of material to cover, so I cannot go back. I will continue and I will explore a little bit of what we talked about, like we just did, because I wanted to know if everybody understood what I was saying. But I'm grateful that you're back and that you're joining us. And I think it's great.
Thank you.
Yeah?
She said thank you.
Oh, okay. Okay, I would like to have moments of centering right now. We're gonna give, I'm gonna pass over the baton to Virginia for a meditation.
It would help if I unmuted myself. So I just invite you to find a comfortable position and just let your shoulders relax. And just relax enough to allow the seat, the chair that you're sitting in, to support you. And just take 2 or 3 deep breaths down into the belly at your own pace, letting the belly expand as you breathe in deeply, exhaling with a soft sigh. Just now allow the breath to return to a natural rhythm. And just notice if there's anywhere in your body where you're holding tension in your shoulders or neck, your jaw, your eyes, your gut, any part of the body. Just send it to those areas thoughts of peace and loving acceptance, allowing them to relax, as we know that in this moment we are safe. In this moment, you are okay. In this moment, there is nothing to worry about, nothing to be afraid of, nothing you have to do for a few minutes except to simply relax. And you may want to say to yourself silently, I choose to be peaceful right here and right now. I remember that I am loved with an infinite, all-encompassing love. There is nothing I have done or not done, nothing that has happened to keep me from being loved. Remember too that you are always provided for and guided. You have all that you need to be peaceful and content. You are all you need to be in every moment. You lack nothing in spirit. And so think about a beautiful flower. Notice the color and the shape. Think about this flower growing in nature. See the sunshine on the flower. See it moving gently in the breeze. The picture of peace and contentment. The flower just being a flower in all its beauty and all its beingness. And now think of yourself as that beautiful expression of life that you are. Unique and beautiful. Peaceful and joyful, just being who you are. For who you are is wonderful. Who you are is perfect, just as you are. There is nothing you have to do. Just to be. Like the lilies of the field, you are the very abundance and provision of divinity. Your presence is needed in this world, and you have a beautiful purpose to fulfill. You are the presence and life and essence of God. There is nothing to fear. All is well. From the divine wisdom that you are, you know that everything is working together for your good. No matter the appearances or the shifting of our emotions and our thoughts, for we are not our emotions and we are not our thoughts. No matter what is happening within us or outside of us, all is well. Everything is in a divine order, working out for a greater good and for your good. I breathe in peace. I breathe out peace. I am peace. I invite you to say that for yourself silently. I am divine peace. Peace permeates my body and my mind and every area of my life. In every moment, I can return to peace, for it is who I am. Take another deep breath. Smile to yourself. With joy and gratitude in our hearts, we are grateful for peace that is never disturbed by the world, the peace that we are. And so it is.
So it is.
Thank you, Virginia. Beautiful.
By the way, did you start recording? Okay, because I forgot to give you the good. Okay. Just wanted to make sure you're trying to help Arlene and all that, and I don't know if you press record. So anyway, I'm going to be talking about shining your light. Shine your light is the. So first off, our physical forms are standing in a third-dimensional matrix or a third-dimensional field. We call things the field, but we don't know what we're talking about. There's different frequencies, and the moment you change frequencies, you have entered another timeline, another dimension, and it's happening a lot more often. I was having a get-together with some people, and we were taking pictures, and suddenly they started splitting, even the pictures, where one person was on one side. I mean, it was the same picture, but it was a separation. And then I was holding on to a cat, and even the cat was split in half. Not the cat, I mean, where we separated, where I was holding it. And so it's interesting how this class knows a lot about the timelines. So because we all do it, and we have had so many experiences with that. So I just want to take you back now to remind you that you are still living on a third-dimensional world, that as we are ascending and as we're moving forward, we still have to deal with it. This is the third dimension, which we experience divide, polarity, right, wrong, good, bad, opinions, truths, you know, all the opposites. And I call it the bipolar world because of so much division, you know, it's either this or that, and there really isn't a division. But anyway, that's not the class for today. We will see all kinds of chaos and manipulation and mind control. You hear and you think that the government is doing this or that, all kinds of crazy stuff, like taking away your rights, right now keeping us locked in. Somebody's knocking at the door. Okay. They're talking about, well, I need you to hear this because I'm talking about timelines. Everything okay? Okay. So we're talking about, let's say, the government taking away your rights, like, for example, they're talking about vaccines and having the entire world vaccinated to make sure that, and then the vaccines they want to use don't have this or that or the other. I'm not getting into the vaccine issue. I'm just trying to give you an example of what's going on in different timelines. So, you know, people are upset and they're scared because if you're locked up, you're considered crazy. And if you're outside, you're considered crazy because you do not pay attention or you don't care. And if you wear a mask or if you don't wear a mask, and everybody's for or against something. I mean, this is how insane things are getting, where you are afraid of your choices. Am I doing the right thing? Am I seeing something? And people are going, you don't need to go, you don't need to be trapped or locked up in your house. You don't need to do this. This is a regular flu. It hasn't killed more than 1% of the entire population of the world. So yes, a lot of people are testing positive, but not everybody dies. So anyway, either you can stay locked up or go outside and going into, you know, just outside rampant and partying and getting together in groups and in big groups. I'm talking about like in bars or conventions or whatever. And so we're talking about, in other timelines, we have mandated that you stay and remain at home. I'm asking you to pay attention because depending on where you're having your focus, that's where you're going to end up manifested in your immediate future. So even with the censoring, the censorship is totally out of control in some places. It might not necessarily be in all timelines. Right now, it's insane. There's all kinds of stuff that is happening, but all of what I just mentioned are either happening on one timeline or another. So people are talking about false news. Oh no, fake news, I think is the thing. Fake news. And unfortunately, there is some fake news in some of the timelines. But the thing is, we're crossing timelines back and forth. And what we are hearing is, you think that they're wrong and they can't see anything, but in other timelines, this is actually happening. So I'm asking you to stay centered. a lot of this is thinking that a lot of people think this is propaganda or disinformation, and that is leaking from one timeline to another. We're very conscious of this, and the people that are gathering information, we're conscious of it. We don't talk about it. We talk about it in our groups, but that's it. I'm asking you not to share this information. This is for the light workers. There's other things that are happening, like there's mass genocide in different countries. A lot of different countries right now are under political upheavals that have started way back, and we're just now getting there. But I want you to know that we're just now scratching the top of the iceberg. What I'm saying to you is that things are not changing. We're going to continue. And we need to be prepared. So I'm trying to prepare you to be resilient and to be able to, as a light being, to control yourself so we can redirect the collective. And all of the light workers are getting together right now and doing that. And there's a lot of other light workers, but they are more like playing with saints or this or boats, or we need to have more of a focused intention. Like I said, not everybody belongs in these groups. So people come and go, do not ask where they went to or why they're not here. The people that have come or gone. There's a lot of stuff that is going to be discussed in these classes, upcoming classes that are not for everybody. So we are in the third dimensional matrix, so we are going to have emotions and thoughts and beliefs around it. But you have to realize you're not your thoughts, your emotions, and your beliefs. Your belief is on nothing more than a repeated thought. Your thoughts are not yours. They're the collective thoughts. Very seldom do you have an original thought. And your emotions are not who you are. Your body has emotions. If you have a car, you might have a backfire at times, or you might have a different, might not be running smoothly, but it's not the car itself. I mean, can be balanced, can be corrected. So can we as bodies in this dimension. There's nothing wrong with having opinions about it. Because a lot of people say, well, I'm way up there, you know, we don't think that way. And that's not true. We need to be truthful because there's nothing wrong with it. We just think that they do, but just realize that you're not that, and then you get out of the equation, period. You're not what you do either. You are a human being, not a human doing. So I'm addressing, and last week I addressed anger, and I'm still addressing, but I'm now addressing everything. There's nothing wrong with getting angry or upset about it, because there's so many things out there that are happening that are upsetting, especially for people that are loving and caring and sensitive. And then you see the complete opposite, the complete thing. And for us, the light workers, we have always felt that we couldn't find the place where we belonged, not the I know I belong somewhere, but this is not it. And I haven't found the place or the country or the you know, yes, I'm comfortable in different places. Yes, I'm comfortable here and there, and I have fun, but do I feel like I really belong there? No, because we don't belong here. And like I said, this is not for everybody. So if you feel uncomfortable, you don't have to remain. But I want you to pay attention that there's nothing wrong with emotions, nothing. Whether they're supposedly good or bad, whether you want to kill something for whatever reason, kill something or someone because they're annoying you or because they're being too ruly or to whatever, put a judgment there, and you're not comfortable with that. We're not comfortable. We're not made that way. And you know, we are always thinking about men's inhumanity to men, and we cannot. It's painful. It's sad. It's painful. It's hurtful. And if we do not acknowledge that and say that no, you know, none of this affects me, then you're not really addressing anything. And here's another piece. There is also an aspect of you, or actually many aspects of you. It looks like all these aspects looks like you're being stretched on your fields, on your quantum fields, in all of the fields. The quantum field encompasses all of the dimensions and all of the, because it's the field of possibilities of any possibility that is there that could happen, will happen, or has happened is there. It is there ready to be used as creation, and not really creation, because on the fifth dimension, creation on third dimension is what the Course in Miracles calls. The Course in Miracles tells you that you don't create anything, that you make things out of already materials that you're using. All creation has already happened, and this is what you learn on the fifth dimensional field. The fifth dimensional field talks about the idea of, not the idea, but to let go of the idea of that you have to make something, and that is hard, and that everything is an effort. That is all really and truly part of the third dimension, and it is that in the third dimension. The fifth dimension, everything is already done. All you have to do is call it forth. All you have to do is know that as long as you have a vibrational resonance to what you want, it will manifest for you. So anyway, I'm getting a little bit away from my topic. So I was on, there's nothing wrong with having so-called bad emotions in the field. We expand our, since we're multidimensional, and we do have this stretchability to touch base with that, even though we are centered, we are in the matrix, we are in the third dimensional matrix, and you are planted there. So even though your body's standing on the third dimensional field, and you are on this matrix, in this matrix, there's also aspects of you that have tapped into and are being in a fifth dimensional field. Fifth dimensional matrix is another matrix. Everything has to do with where we focus our attention on, where we reside the most. And you start to be there, even as your body's anchored on this very intense three-dimensional matrix, you're still anchored, but you're still able to go into the fifth dimension. And you go there by, you know, when you feel love, when you feel happiness and all those goody feelings. So yes, my body's here, and these aspects are this consciousness that I'm constantly tapping into, which are really right here in my body, is right now into this and into this now, what I call this now, right here, right now. I'm talking to you, this right here, right now, in a quantum space happening all at once. So how often, now this is a question, how often in your in your now moment can you begin to observe and be aware of standing on the third dimension, in the third dimensional matrix? I mean, I can see it, I can feel it, I can watch it and watch myself respond within it. I can hear it. It's right there. I can smell it. I can, I can begin to tap into these higher states, even though I am imbued into this third dimensional senses, sense grabbing third dimensional field. Even though I can be in the middle of all sensuality of the body, all of the senses, I still can tap into the fifth dimension and remain there to be focused on that. And that can be done on any situation. And if somebody can do it during sex, that tells you that it can be done in any other area. That's where the tantric sex comes in. That's where things that you use for where you learn to master your senses. And when you learn to master your senses, even sex becomes a divine act, in not only in the intensity of the sensuality, but also in the intensity of the union, the actual emergence, the actual, what do you call it, amalgamation of souls. The getting together and really being in that one-ment, not only physically, but soulfully and spiritually. So again, everything that is happening right here, these words I'm just talking about, again, how often, and you don't have to answer me, but I would like you to answer you. How often can you stay on the third dimensional? I want you to pay attention. Like when last time I said, pay attention on the 2.2 seconds. And now I want you to pay attention to your moment, your now moment. What is a now moment? I'm not asking you to be present in the now. A now moment is what's happening at the time. You know, I can be somewhere and I see an event and there was a wreck. I'm just making something up. And then you say, okay, that's a now moment. It's happening in your present. That doesn't require you to be present. That shocks you and brings you into a present moment, present now, or you are very interested in the conversation that you're having with somebody or a game or things like that. So have you ever been with a group of friends and time just seems to fly? It's because everybody's present and everybody's enjoying the moment. And it's like, oh, I can't believe it's such and such a time. And we do this all the time. We And we do are a lot in the moment when we don't know we are. So I want you to be aware that you are more in the moment than you think you are. Just we think that we are not. So try to stay in this consciousness and try to be a little bit different in your now moments. For example, if I run across somebody or I come across someone at the store or at the spa or the gym, or wherever I am, and there is a discussion and there is a divide or disagreement in a third dimension, my computer keeps making all these sounds. Okay. So there's a disagreement or a divide with whoever you met down the street. And it's a divide because you are in the third dimensional matrix, and I may have a knee-jerk reaction because I'm not expecting what happened. And so I'm going to be reactive because there was a button that was pushed. And when I say a knee-jerk reaction doesn't mean to somebody else out there. And most of the time, the knee-jerk reaction is against yourself because you try to swallow that emotion and push it down so you will not show that you're upset. So you do not show that you are in a specific thing. So you're actually being disrespectful to you. Okay? I just want you to notice that most of the knee-jerk reactions are self-inflicted. So I may have a knee-jerk reaction to argue from a fifth dimensional consciousness. Okay, so you're in the third dimension. Somebody wants to argue, somebody's divided, wants to project, or whatever the issue is, and is looking for an argument, and you decide that you're going to remain in the third dimension, but you're going to answer on the fifth dimension, from a fifth dimensional level. And, excuse me. So you are answering now from a fifth dimensional level, and you see the situation, you know it's coming because you're already kind of like, you felt the emotion. Do not obstruct the emotion from going through your body, because most of us go and climb up. So we are being our spiritual selves and we just remain there. So don't do that. Let the emotion go through your body. I didn't say explode and attack the other person. I said let the emotion go through your body. You know, and I mean, in the middle of all that, I'm going to be answering a fifth dimensional thing. I'm going to allow the emotion to go through my body. I will not stop it. And I may all of a sudden open up my heart because I don't feel threatened, because I recognize what it was. And it couldn't have been an attack. That was a projection or a fear that somebody else is projecting out there. Regardless of what the positioning is. The positioning doesn't matter. What matters is how you react. Now, if you're going to be responding from a fifth dimensional field, you're not going to be reacting. You are going to be acting. That's when you start calling people being aware. So you may open your heart and say, I love you. It's all good. You are freaking amazing. You are a rock star for being in this human body right now. I see it from such a different viewpoint. And a lot of these things you might say to yourself about the other person, because there's some things that you're not going to be saying to somebody who's extremely angry. You're a rock star and you're, because you're going to get somebody upset and more thinking that you're making fun of them. You might say this to them in your mind. You might say a few of these things. I love you. I care for you. I think that I'd rather I love you so much that I'd rather not engage like this with you, because I really respect you and I want to keep our friendship, or I want to keep our relationship, or I'm in a path of no resistance, and I'm not looking to be right. I'm looking to be peaceful. That's the Course in Miracles. Like when I was asking the question earlier, how do I center myself? To me, I use the Course in Miracles. That's my go-to to get centered. So anyway, I'm looking from a different perspective when I'm talking about what is truth. Yes, Sarah.
Could you clarify just quickly how that's different from avoidance? Not wanting to talk about the issue on a third dimension?
When I said to you, allow the emotion to go through. Do not run away because you want to, you don't want to get in the middle of somebody else's explosion. First of all, that explosion has nothing to do with you. Secondly, those are emotions and thoughts and words that have nothing to do with your reality. Your reality is much higher. Okay, so what you're trying to do at that point, these things are coming to you for you to deal with them. And a lot more is going to start happening, okay? Like I said, we're just scratching the tip of the iceberg. So I need you to be resilient. Well, I don't need you to be resilient. I would love for you to be resilient when you're finding yourself in difficult situations. What I'm asking you to do is not to avoid the emotion. I didn't say react to the emotion. I said do not stop it. Do not stop what your body has been trying to get rid of. And it keeps on coming up at different times, trying to show you, hey, I'm trapped here. I'm trapped here. Let me out. Let me, your body's wanting that to go out of the way. So that's the difference.
I was thinking the more like confrontational, like with another person, maybe not with yourself, of course, feeling the emotion, but avoiding the confrontation in the third dimension.
Right. That was, I think we discussed that last week, right? Problem with that is you have someone who's projecting. Okay, but if you know that person is projecting, it cannot possibly affect you, regardless of what technique they use to try to bully you into. It's a technique to bully you into something, and the confrontation and the getting louder and the getting, okay, it's a confrontation and it's trying to control you because they're losing ground on whatever their positioning is. Like I said, positioning is not important in this. What is important in this is that you pay attention to what your body's telling you. And why is it reacting that way? Because it wants to get rid of that emotion that is of no service to you. Those are the things you need to let go of. Do you need more, Sarah? No, okay. Okay.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
So thank you for that question, Sarah. That was very helpful. And
to be more present of what is avoidance. What I'm noticing that when there is avoidance for me, there is definitely, as you said, not letting the emotion come through, and therefore it does stay, the mind stays also involved instead of staying out of it. So
you're trying to be non-reactive, and you think that that's being spiritual, but that's not being spiritual. That's a lie.
Exactly. That's what I said. Mm-hmm.
So, because you're not being truthful, and you're not being truthful to them or to you.
Okay.
I'm not asking you to react and attack them. I'm asking you to be present with your observer and deal with it. We talked about this last class. To bring your observer. I also talked about energy fields last class. To come and work with your energy field and how you feel when somebody's attacking you. And if your energy field is full, you are like Harry Potter and throw this laser. Because this is where the lasering comes in. This is when you throw your energy that goes and confronts the attack or the perceived attack, and it nullifies the energy. So then the fight is done pretty quickly. But if you are not in a high vibration to do that, then you're gonna get into a problem there.
So what I'm noticing, and I understand what you're saying, what I'm noticing is, since there is a little bit of in that second, in the split second of the avoidance.
Wait. Is there a little bit of what?
In the split second of the avoidance, there's fear and wanting to do it different, but not knowing. So it's as if you are in a, you want to do something new and you have no clue. It's like in that overwhelm. So do you think that the lack of being totally in that state that you're saying, is it because the energy hasn't built up so that you can hold yourself without getting shaken by the thoughts, emotions, and the expectations of you to be different?
Okay, you were not in previous classes way back 2 years ago, okay? We were talking about the influence that you have with the people you hang out with. What is their spiritual level? Show me the 6 friends that you hang out on with the most, and I will show you, your life created around the people that you associate the most with. The 6 people that are frequent in your life. And out of that, see if they have high vibration. If not, try to bring some people that are high vibration, because that is what you're going to be surrounded with. That's what your body will be reactive to, that type of vibration. If somebody's always low, then you might want to send some energy. Okay. And the thing is, sometimes certain people say you shouldn't send energy to anybody, or you shouldn't pray for somebody if they're not wanting something, because you might interfere with their free will. The thing is, in spirituality, we're all one. In the highest levels, we are one. And there is no separation, and there is the ability to do that. And you're not working with a body, you're working with their higher self. If you start seeing a body, if you confuse their emotions and their attitudes with their being, then I will have to say correct your vision. Okay?
Okay. So yeah, that would be very helpful, because then the interaction that I have to do with a lot of family members, I think it's part of my function. And what I'm understanding you said is that in order for me to really be able to be of the service that I want to be, I have to see them as those spiritual beings and not in the need of trying to help them on the third dimensional phase.
The moment that you think that they need to come up spiritually to meet you, you put yourself on a pedestal and you cannot reach them, and you have pushed yourself away from them. If you see them as less than you, and I'm not talking about physically or materialistic wise, I'm talking about spiritually.
Spiritually, yes, but for example, I don't know how to break that pattern. For example, my mom, she goes into old patterns.
So what does that have to do with you? It goes back to you. It goes back to you. I don't care what the issue is. Remember last class. Because you're the one that is being reactive to somebody else's action.
No, I'm not being reactive, but I think I still believe, you're right in that.
Yeah.
It could benefit of a new view. So maybe I'm putting energy where it shouldn't belong. Is that right?
Exactly.
Okay. Got it. Thank you.
Yes, Virginia.
I'd like to go back to what Sarah was talking about, and I was looking at the notes from last week about that beam of light. You know, we always are projecting our vibration to us wherever we are, out from us. So that if we are interacting with another person, and you also talked about last week how their energy can affect your energy, and your energy can affect their energy. But there is a way to, and I believe that you said, say I'm talking to somebody and I get my anger triggered, and I notice that I'm angry, and I could mentally go, oh, I'm feeling angry here. So, but I can mentally say, oop, not mine, give it to the robot.
Right, but you have not before letting it go through your body.
Right, just sit with it, say, okay, I'm feeling anger.
Allow the anger to go through. Do not stop it.
Is that the 2.2, or does it take longer than that?
No, the 2.2 is the time that it takes for your body to react to the anger.
Okay.
So you have 2.2 seconds to
catch it.
From the time somebody throws something at you, and whether you take the hook or not. Remember, I also talked previously about hooks and how we just take the hook and when you take the hook, you become reactive, and when you become reactive, then you're boomeranging.
So my question is that it seems to me that we can make a shift in the middle of the interaction with this other person.
Right.
So that
you can, but you have to bring the observer. That's how come you're watching.
Exactly.
You're letting the thing go through, and then you are giving it to the robot because you're done with it.
Right. So all of that can happen within a few seconds, really.
Right. All of that can happen in less than a minute.
And you're not avoiding it.
Right.
You're dealing with it in that moment. And
exactly.
when you do that, your vibration shifts, which can
everybody's vibration shifts. The moment your vibration shifts, it will affect the other person.
Right.
But if you're still too when you go in because you don't want a confrontation, or because you don't want to really create a conflict, or you don't like conflicts or whatever, then you create a resistance. That resistance will not allow you to do that. So you have to be open to recognize where you're at. Like Penny said, I kept on looking at the 2.2 thing. So did that answer your question? What was the question?
Well, that was my question, is if I handle it that way, am I still avoiding, or am I acknowledging?
No, you're not avoiding. What I don't want you to do is avoid feeling the feelings and the emotions that go with it. I didn't say project them out to the person, the event, or whatever. Process them through your body, because those are your emotions. You're responsible for them. Nobody can give you those emotions. You choose to react that way because that's how you were programmed to react. That's what you saw. That was the environment you grew up in. And that's just your reactive mind. You're still reactive with the reptilian brain.
And I've also noticed, because of I have more awareness about that now, that
exactly
that I can shift it in the middle of the interaction, and instead of accelerating it, I can let go of my stuff, feel it,
exactly,
and face it, embrace it, erase it,
right,
in the middle of the interaction, and change the dynamic of what's going on. And that's not avoidance. That's the question.
That's not avoidance, right? Yeah, we went through this, yeah. But thank you for explaining it again, because that's 3 classes ago. Yes, Penny.
I wonder about different emotions too. Like I said, I've been actually finding it effective with anger, because I know what things are going to cause anger for me. So I'm kind of prepared, because I know there could be some anger there. So I'm kind of like on the alert. I'm on the alert.
You're on the edge.
It might be an anger situation, so I got to be ready for this. So I can use my 2.2 second rule there. But the other day I mentioned about my friend. She shocked me. I was like, and it wasn't like a terrible shock, but it was like a shock, and that's why I didn't even come close to thinking about the 2.2 second rule, because it was a real surprise.
Mm-hmm.
And I just wonder if different emotions are, or if you're not as prepared mentally for a particular situation. Like I said,
if you already know you're gonna get into it because you're already expecting it, you will most definitely create that, and you will be expecting it at different times with the same kind of patterns. So what you might want to do is look at that. Look at the pre-fighting or pre-evoking or provoking, and get rid of that. The one that is preparing for the fight, the one that is preparing for the upset.
But this wasn't. I wasn't prepared. I wasn't prepared at all, because I didn't expect.
Well, I thought you said. I thought you told me that you still feeling the. It says you already know what's going to happen, and you're.
No, I didn't know. No, I had no idea. That's why I said this was a whole.
Okay, I misunderstood.
No, if I with anger situations, I was able to, because I knew there was going to be some anger involved. But this was a situation where I'm going to tell you the scenario. She called me and we just started chit-chatting. She says, "Oh, I got something really good information. I have some real good news. We're going to buy a new house." I went, "Oh, that's really exciting." I said, "Where is it?" And she lives in Palm Harbor. We've been friends for about 35 years. And I said, "Where is it?" And she said, "Ocala." And I went, "Ocala?" And I just and she got hurt, because I was like, "But is there something wrong with that?" And I'm going, "Yeah, it's 2 hours away." But I mean, it was such a shock that I didn't even have it was such a reaction. I didn't even think that maybe this would hurt her feelings, that she was sharing her joy with me. And I was going, and it was hurt because I'm losing my friend. She's going to be 2 hours away, but I'm not losing her. But I mean, it was just a weird, but it's like, there was no way the 2.2 seconds could have even, but that was because it was a totally different emotion, and I wasn't prepared at all for that news.
Okay, so what is the question here?
Well, I'm just wondering, different emotions. I mean, when you're prepared for something, it's a lot easier to use a 2.2 second rule. And how do you prepare yourself every time?
No, you don't want to prepare yourself, because you're creating more of that.
Mm.
Do you understand that? What you focus on expands, and you're creating and you're preparing, and that's ego. Who's preparing? What is it that you have to protect yourself from? I mean, when you're talking about friends.
Well, how do you become non-reactive to everything then?
I didn't say non-reactive. I said you are going to take care of you. You're reactive to you, not to somebody else. The problem is we want to attack somebody else or confront somebody else. And when that happens, you're not really looking at your part. You're blaming. It's the blame game. It's the guilt game. And that's the part that this class is about, this semester. It's about guilt. It involves a lot of things, like I've been always saying, you know, but I'm always talking, and I'm always giving different tools and different information. But the bottom line in this particular semester is about guilt. The previous one was the Gospel of Thomas, you know, to do with the how to deal with, how to know, how to navigate through the fourth dimension, which is what that was. We were getting out of the third dimension. We were creating on the fourth dimension, which was different tools than the fifth dimension. So each dimension has its own manifesting rules. And that's what I thought last year. It was the whole thing about, you know, frame it and put it on the train and do this and that and all of that. And how to read, how the code for decoding the gospel, because it's not what you read. If you read it the way it is, it sounds horrible. But if you have the code that went with it, and you were very good at it, Penny, discussing it. But anyway, we're getting off topic. I'm getting off topic.
Oh God.
Don't try so hard. What, Barbara?
Hey, Angie. I've been
Yeah.
sitting here wondering if what I'm going to say is off topic, but I don't really think it is. It's just another way of expressing it. But I heard something the other day that I had never thought of before. You know, the Course in Miracles says, I am not a victim of the world I see. I have invented the world I see. Okay, I read that 1,000 times, you know, all right.
Right.
But then I got something online from a Course in Miracles teacher that I knew very well when I lived in the Orlando area. And what she said is something I've never thought about. She said, you know, when one is, whoever is looking at the world that you have invented, even though you don't really get that a lot of the time, at least I don't, and you reject something as being, it shouldn't be that way, he shouldn't be that way, she shouldn't be that way, the government shouldn't be that way. You know, you can, for me, I can name thousands of things that shouldn't be the way I think they should be. But what she said was, when you do that, what you're doing is rejecting or condemning your own invention, if you will. And
you're rejecting, excuse me, wait, rejecting what?
You are rejecting by criticizing, say it shouldn't be the way it is.
Yeah, you know, what are you no, wait a minute. I'm asking, what are you rejecting?
Whatever it is you're seeing that you don't like. It could be people, you know, who you reject because they don't believe the way you believe or whatever. Or it can be something like when I take my walks, I always look at stuff. And if I see something that I think is unattractive, I'm like, oh, that shouldn't be there. But if I actually created that, when I reject it, it kind of bounces back to me. Do you know what I mean? As created.
Okay. Now, did you create it or no? Wait a minute. Wait. Did you create it or did you make it? There's two different things here. The Course in Miracles talks about creation and it talks about making. It says human beings do not create, we make.
Well, if you look at a tree, I don't know exactly what category to put that in.
Okay, but what let me.
I'm creating it. Aren't I?
Okay, I mean, let me talk.
Okay.
Okay. You're describing the Course in Miracles, and what the Course in Miracles centers on is guilt, the attraction to guilt.
True.
The attraction to guilt is the one that's going to be blaming, is the one that is going to be the victim and the martyr and all of that, because you have to be a victim or a martyr for you to be complaining and bitching and moaning. You also have to be, you take stances and you put what, you like yours is the only view that is available. That shouldn't be there, or this shouldn't be here, or that person said this, or that should not be said, or somebody should not act this way or that. The thing, it has nothing to do with you. So I will ask you, why is that affecting you? How does that affect you?
It has, on one level, it does have everything to do with me. If I believe that the world I see is what I created, it's that I'm not the victim, like I said, because I've created the world I see. So on one level, it probably has everything to do with me. The thing about it is, if I find for myself, if I have a preconceived notion of how they should be and they don't fulfill that, then that's when I get really reactive, and then that brings me to a place of guilt. Do you see what I mean?
Right. It's a guilt game.
It is a guilt game, but if you look,
okay, so yes, you created the guilt. Yes, you created the circumstance.
Yeah, of course.
And then you became reactive to your guilt.
Well, yeah. I mean, I became reactive to that person, and the fact that I became reactive creates guilt within myself, even if it's subconscious. You know what I mean?
Right.
At least that's how I see it. That's how I seem to feel. I'm just saying that if I look at things and realize that, hey, either I created them or I created them to appear in my reality, and I reject them, basically what she was saying is the rejection comes back on me. I'm rejecting what I see and what I experience. You see what I mean?
You're rejecting yourself, period.
Yes, absolutely.
Not something else.
I think I'm rejecting everything that I object to, but actually I'm just rejecting myself when I
No, you're rejecting you.
Yeah, I know.
This has nothing to do with the outside world.
Right.
Okay, so the finger goes back to you. The pointing finger.
Say that again?
The pointing finger goes back to you.
Absolutely. Yes, it does. It does.
Okay.
And I never realized until she actually said that. Probably I should have gotten it a lot earlier, but I didn't. That that's what I was doing to myself. Do you know what I mean?
Okay. Yes. Thank you for that. Okay, I had wow, there's a lot of material that is gonna have to be done in different days, because see, the reason that I allow the questions during the class, and because it is by us seeing how life is affecting us and how we deal with things, and the ability to work it out as we, and sometimes, I'm not thinking straight and somebody else is going to say, well, do you remember this? Oh yeah. It just depends. I mean, we're all learning and we're all doing good things together. It's a difficult day, so what I would like to do is I asked Virginia to help me with meditation. So she's going to do 10 minutes of meditation, and I'm going to do the last 10. So she's going to concentrate on what she'll tell you. And then I'm going to concentrate on what I usually do, sending energy to us and the planet and the animals and whatever else. And then I'm going to come to the United States and just flood it, because this is what we're doing today. Helping the nation and helping all Americans that are all over the place, not just in the mainland, but Alaska and Hawaii, and all the people overseas, and all the people that are of service, you know, and all the people that are out of the country working or whatever they're doing, that are Americans. So, Miss Virginia.
Okay, so I invite you just to let go of our discussions and find a comfortable position. And again, invite you to take a few deep breaths as you close your outer eyes, bringing your attention inward. Breathing deeply, we center ourselves within. And I invite you to put your hands over your heart as you're breathing. And again, allow the breath now to find a natural rhythm, keeping your attention in your heart. Sometimes a few deep breaths can bring us back to center or begin to help us to relax and bring our attention from the outer inside. And instinctively, we come to our hearts. And so I invite you to remember what we've been talking about. And I invite you to allow my words to be your thoughts. I feel the breath moving in and out of the body. I feel the body moving with the breath. Yet I remember that I am not my body. I am not this body. Thoughts come and go through the mind, but we are not our thoughts. Emotions come and go like waves of energy moving through us. And we are not our emotions. We are not the situations of our life. I am not what I do. I am what I am. I am an infinite being. So I invite you just to think about tuning in to the vibration of yourself as divine life. You are the energy of divine life expressing here and now where you are. And where you truly are is everywhere. Tune in to the vibration of your spiritual essence. I allow myself to be aware of the aliveness that I am. I am a vibrating, radiating energy and essence of the one life, the one mind, the one light, the one love. And then imagine or allow yourself to feel the energy that you are emanating going out past your body into the room where you are, filling that space easily and quickly. You're already there. And then ask yourself this question: how far out does my vibration and essence extend? There is that within you that knows that there is no limit to what you are in time or space. For you are a part of the infinite whole. The oneness. You are divinity. An expression of the all that is, a part of the all that is. Allow yourself to know, as Rumi said, you are not the ocean, you are not a drop in the ocean. You are the ocean in a drop, but yet you are not contained in that drop. You are the ocean of divine life and divine essence. Divine life, light, and perfect love. So I invite you to silently affirm for yourself, I am divine life. I am divine light. I am divine love.
Continue in that space of allowing. I want you to move your hands up a little higher between your heart and your throat chakra. It's a way to communicate better within ourselves and with the world when we're using both the heart and the throat chakra. Easier, clearer communication. I want you to know that the world has been waiting for your arrival in consciousness, that you are needed, that you are wanted to help this world ascend, and it will ascend at its own rate, and people will be ascending at different rates of speed. So I want you to not try to fix the world. What the world needs right now is that it needs love. It's a call for love. Everything that we see of the division, know that you are the answer. You didn't come here to fight or to save anybody. You come here as an ambassador of love. You are that. You are light. We are at the secret place of the Most High. Most of us are being guided right now by angels and archangels and higher masters and other dimensional beings. Some of us have landed and became earth the Earth crew. And then there's the crew that is always, always with us. Know that you are always in that light. Know that you are always in that space. You're not only do we have solar flares right now, we have the full moon, we have photon belts, and for a couple of months now, and we'll continue until we get things more stable. We are being flooded by all these beings. We are continuously being radiated with light, not only as a guiding light, but as a healing light, an ascending light. You are never alone. Many, many, many people, entities, light beings are always around you, are always infusing the energy that they said they will provide us with while we were down here, because we knew it was going to be a hard lesson. Not that you're fully prepared to do this. The ego is trying to convince you that things are hard and sad and fearful. And it's not true. You're not those you are not those emotions. You are a beautiful being of light. So I want you to hear my words. I want you to see yourself as a being of light. And inside that being of light, inside and outside and all around, in infinity, all that is you. And different aspects of you. We signed up for a beautiful mission. Nobody said it was going to be easy, but we are the backbone. We are the strength, and we have been well trained through life to be able to do this. I want you to know you're very gifted. I want you to know that you are not only needed, but wanted in a position of power. The power of love, the power to move galaxies, the so-called spoken word, the love in action, the verb. You are that. Emotion through the body, energy in motion, emotion. You are. You are free when you realize that you are in full control of how you feel, and that you can be in full control of how you act and what you let affect you. That you will start engaging your activities of acting rather than reacting as you become more aware. And as you become more aware, the more you will see, the more you will understand, and the more you will, in love, help the collective. We are empowered, we are safe, we are free, we are the harmony and the peace. Once we get past our egos, which it doesn't take that long as the ego would like you to know, but it doesn't. Once you recognize the patterns, you are free. Allow your sovereignty to govern. Do not let events, people, circumstances come in between you and your happiness. You are, like I said, the secret place of the Most High. In that place, you have the peace that passes understanding. Understanding love as it truly is. Not an emotion, but a real light, a real awareness and acceptance and loving of what is. You are the nature of love. That is your true nature, your true spirit. Rejoice in the peace that passes understanding. Understanding is of the ego. Let it go. Let go of judgment. It's okay to judge with your observer, but never alone. Because your observer will help you get rid of things a lot quicker. You are beautiful. You're empowered. You are what the world wants right now. Right now, the whole world is screaming for the light workers. They don't know because everybody's trying to scare them. Do not be scared. It's not your fight. Rise above it. It's not your fight. You are a beautiful being. Love does not resist. Love allows what is and allows other people's truths and other people's opinions. Because whatever they are, they have nothing to do with who you are. What you do is you look at you and you love you and you respect you. You are worthy of your own respect, self-respect. You are worthy of self-love. You are worthy of well-being. You are a diamond shining. Shine your light. Shine your love. This is your natural state. I love you. I care for you. Be well. Be free. Namaste. Of the 15 minutes that we have left, that we usually talk, I want to tell you what we're going to be covering, because we didn't cover it on this. Next class is going to be about angels and archangels and aliens and whatever else you can throw in there, walk-ins and all this stuff that you get to hear, but we're going to put it more into the terms of what we need to hear about them. But that is for next week. I also would like to advise you, everyone, that we're gonna take 2 weeks off. The day of the November the 17th and the 24th. 17th. Then the 24th is because of Thanksgiving, being so close to Thanksgiving, and the other one is for the because I'm going somewhere. So I feel that I needed extra time for meditation today because of the type of day that this is. But I want you to rise up in consciousness. I want you to remain, either do some meditating, do some humming, do some tapping on your collarbone right here. Reset, reset, hum, reset. Grab your wrist if you are with people, and know that you can influence how things happen to you. If it starts going the other way, like Virginia said, you can change your mind right there. The Course in Miracles says, if you don't like what you're seeing, change your mind. Don't like it, change your mind. So it doesn't have to take, okay, now let me wait and see how I'm going to change my mind and this and that. That's the ego talking. Like I said, you have 2.2 seconds. And you can work through the whole thing in less than a minute. So the idea that it takes longer, it's a lie. I just want you to know how well programmed we were to believe that everything is hard, to believe that everything is a strength, to believe that how do we change and how do we do? It's not that hard. Okay. So what do you think, Elsa? I think we lost. Go ahead.
What do I of what, of the meditation?
Of whatever, whatever you want to share. This is a sharing part.
I think it was the meditation. It was wonderful. I liked the class also. It was very very fruitful for me of what you talk about. It was very nice. It did help me get a little more center about what to do in certain situations. Thank you for that. Especially in questions of letting go things, which is very nice to know what to do. And it clarifies certain areas of about the third and fifth dimension, which I need to study a little bit more about it because I'm a baby. I'm a baby on that. So I am. So I need to be very humble about it because I need to study a lot more about it.
It's not that much, really. The fifth dimension is very easy. I mean, up to the fourth dimension, everything was a struggle. Once you go into the fifth dimension, and if you bypass all the other ones, you don't have to go through them. But that's where we all learned that we had to ascend in this particular manner because this is where we started, and we were not ready yet.
Yeah. And about what you said about acting and not reacting, that's something I've been doing, I believe, for a long time in my life. I do act on things instead of reacting because I've been an observant through my life. I mean, since I worked in customer service for most of my time, and all my jobs, I have to do a lot of comprehensive thoughts for the people, and the training is most likely it is not about you, it's about the company, most likely, So I do have to do some type of comprehensive thoughts in order to be able to help people. And the acting is very easy for me instead of reacting. So when I think about it, situations, I do put myself in the shoes of other people, thinking of what happening to them. So that way, like act of love it comes more easy for me when I talk about it or when I feel something. So most likely a few words for me says more than a whole sentence. Also, making excuses for unfinished business is very bad for me. And I think it comes through the way my father used to be and the way he taught me how to do things. So usually if I don't get something done, I procrastinate my things. So I like to talk to people, and not in a confrontational way, more likely the way he taught me to do it. That it was quite funny the way he said to me that turn your tongue 10 times before you talk, which give you time to give it a thought of what you're going to say to people, and not speak out of anger, which is very helpful since I was a kid, the way he taught me.
Just a question there.
Yes.
Did you, since you had to think about it, but all this stuff is coming at you, did you absorb it all into your body because you were not able to react at that point?
Well, I mean, you're talking about in customer service or something? When people come at me and tell me,
just regular life. I'm not talking work-wise.
in my regular life, not sure, because sometimes depends. When some people coming at me with things, I usually wait it until it's done, finished, or telling me something out of anger. I have to wait until they've done, finished telling me something. But if they're not done, finished telling me something, how would I know? So I don't know yet. So I pretty much kind of like put it on the side.
Have you asked them questions in the meantime, like if they're talking, and have you considered this, or if I'm understanding you correctly, you mean to say this or that, or if this is what I understand you're saying, or things like that, where you can interact.
I will ask myself questions. However, the thing is, like, since I don't know, it is like kind of like I'm assuming, and what they said about assuming, so I just I prefer not assuming. So it kind of like it goes in a box, like you said, you go to a robot, it goes in a box and it puts there until the person is ready, I guess. But if the person is not willing to be ready, well, then it stays in there, because I'm not gonna let them affect my life, because if you're not ready, you're not ready. If you're not willing to talk, if you're not willing to do, if you're not willing to fix it, well, then there's nothing I can do. It's not my business, So I continue with whatever I have to do, and that's it. I mean, the day you are ready, well, then you're ready. There's nothing I can do at that point, So I continue doing, and that's it. It's like customer service. I mean, I help you until I can, but if you're not willing to give me all the paperwork, I can do nothing, So give me the paperwork so I can work on it, right?
Right.
So
I'm just curious. I have always been on customer service.
Yeah.
And the idea that the customer always comes first was
Right.
drilled into people like us.
Yeah.
But it's time to shift gears because we're breaking the patterns. Breaking the
Yeah.
patterns because people are so unhappy because you come last. You
Oh,
always come last in your, I'm talking about when you're in the store, when you're in the, whatever it is that your businesses are. So I feel that there's always a way to come first, not in the store, not in the whatever business you're at, but at in a personal level. I
right.
come first. Give yourself the time and the respect that you need
Okay.
because this is where most of us feel in lack. We are not in abundance because we are in lack, because we feel in lack because we don't respect ourselves. And that's when people feel in lack. Lack doesn't come because you're thinking this or you're thinking that. It's because what you're saying to your body is, I don't matter. I don't enter your mind. I don't matter. You know, I learned to be this way. I was taught to do this and I was, and I can go to my parents and the schooling and all of that and all my jobs and, adults come first. The child doesn't speak, then religion, either you got born again because there was karma or there was an original sin or there was some chaotic thing that you came in and you had to pay for it. Okay.
No.
So
I don't believe on that part though.
no, but I'm trying to tell you what as I was a kid, this is what I heard.
Oh yeah.
I'm not saying that I believe in it. All I'm saying is I'm talking about all of the things that we go through where we put ourselves last, and that's not right. Notice you want to feel abundant and you want to have that love affair and you want to have that thing or you want to have, you're in lack, you can't do that because you're not paying attention to you. And if you're not paying attention to you, nobody else is going to. It's as simple as that. I cannot put it any plainer.
That's true.
How come I don't have, well, are you there for you? No. Are you there for the people? Are you there for the people that are matter to you? No. Okay. Well, what happens there?
If I'm not there for me, how can I be there for the people that matters to me? It's true.
Exactly. Or how can you attract that when you're not there for you either?
Right.
You have to attract something that is a vibrational resonance to you.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
And for us that are single women, we're going, how come? It's because my vibrational resonance is not resonating when it comes to my physical presence, when it comes to my physicality, when it comes to my attention to me.
Mm-hmm.
So if I don't have that, how can I expect to receive it from even the people that are married, from my husband or from my boyfriend or from whatever? You have to be there. You have to be there for you. You come first.
I see that. That's true.
Thank you, Elsa.
Thank you. Thank you for all you do. Thank you very much.
All right. Anybody else before I close? Yes, Penny.
Thank you for the meditation, both Reverend Virginia and you. I needed that today.
And what?
I needed the meditation at the end because, well, the beginning and the end, because I've been feeling very sad and empty. So it really helped to think of myself as a light worker and think of myself as having some influence.
Right. What, Virginia?
I'd just like to say to everybody, it's really important today for us to keep coming back to peace and not to get in fear and with what's going on, and just stay in peace as much as you can. And it's very important today and this evening that we do that.
if somebody is going to be around people, please try to be around people that are uplifting to you, that are in a very high consciousness. This is not the time to be in, if you feel like somebody may argue with you because of the home situations or whatever, you might want to send them love. Before anything happens, send them love, send them, cater to them a little bit. Things that you normally wouldn't do, but extend your love. Begins at home, right? Okay. Namaste. I love you all.
Love you too. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.